Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Daily Dose of Good News. I'm your host, Cyrus Webb. Glad you all could be with us as we're kicking out the month of December. It is Monday, December the 1st. Have a great guest that you guys are going to be seeing today. As you guys know, when we started this series, we've been letting you guys see the 48 interviews that I did when I broke the Guinness World Record for most TV interviews in 12 hours on Wednesday, October the 29th. One of those individuals I had a chance to interview was Miss Gloria Elaine-Owens of Yazoo City, Yazoo County area. Had a great conversation with her about her love of history, also her love of people, where that comes from. Enjoyed this conversation with Miss Owens here on Daily Dose of Good News. So one thing we talked about when we were in Yazoo City was paying it forward in life. That's one of the things that you do. Where does that generosity come from for you?
Well, I have to give that to my mother. As a child, my mother was the first to inspire and require that my siblings and I do good for others. So that's my first inspiration, my mom. And now it's such a passion because it's keeping her memory alive. She passed away over 20 years ago, but I like to keep her memory alive by doing the things that she instilled in me, and that's to pay it forward.
Wow, love that. Appreciate that. You have a genuine interest in people. I noticed that from the first time I interviewed you, Ms. Owens. When did that interest in people start?
Again, I grow, I learn. I'm educated through meeting and talking to people everywhere I go. I just like to hear other people's story. Everybody has a story, and some poem that I read in college that sticks with me is everyone is important to some respect, whether he chooses to be or not. So I like to go and talk to people so I can learn what makes them important.
Wow. And you definitely do that. And that leads us to the next question about history, which you have really helped me a lot. When I was first introduced to you in Yazoo City, Ms. Owens, that's one of the things people tell me, that you know history. It's something that you've shown that you love. What keeps you excited about learning something new?
It starts with each of us. If we don't know our history and where we are now, we'll never know where we're going. So I'm intrigued by the history of the places that I live, the people that I meet, and basically the historical aspects of members of my own family, because we have to tell our family history first. Nobody else would be able to tell the family history and how we connect to other families in our communities.
One of my family members here, Tina Siemens, you all are kindred spirits when it comes to that about history for sure. This next question that I have for you, your fourth question, it's one thing for you to know history. What would you say to our audience, both here in person, but also those watching us around the world and so on, about the importance of younger generations learning history?
I would encourage everyone, especially the young people, to know and study history, because once again, if we don't know and learn the history, it'll only repeat itself. So learning history and telling it to others, you have to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. So I've been so blessed to work with in my working career with teenagers in 4 different high schools in our very small community. We have 2 city schools, 2 county schools, 2 private schools, and 2 public schools. But I am blessed to work with students who attend all 4 of those area schools. So I get to learn the history of a diverse group. Those young people consist of Black, white, Asian, Latino, and Indian kids that come from the areas of Yazoo County. And after 17 years, they've gone out somewhere else. And so they're still teaching history of Yazoo wherever they are right now.
This next question, Ms. Owens, came to me because of our conversation we had on Saturday in Yazoo City. And I was asking her when was she going to write her own book. and she told me that she loves to read other books. Reading is something that you have a passion for. Do you come from a family of readers? I don't know the answer to that.
Yes, I live with the meanest reading teacher in the world. my siblings are much older than I am, so by traditional standards, my elder sister, who was the reading specialist for the school district, is the one who inspired. We have to read books every day, and she give us tests on the books. And then to continue that, I went to a college that gave me a professor that continued that legacy. We get pop tests on reading something. You have to read something every day. So I still have this in the back of my mind. Read something, whether it's the back of the cereal box or a recipe or anything. And when you read, you learn. When you pick up a book, you learn. And my own tradition is whenever I buy a book, I buy two. So I can give one to somebody else and keep one for myself. And then we can sort of we can have our own little book club wherever we are. So with books. I promote reading. The Lifesavers program, which is made up of those teenagers, we have a family literacy project each year. So we promote books and reading and any kinds of material that promote literacy.
Love that. So the last question I have for you, your bonus question, Ms. Owens, and again, thank you for saying yes to this. I appreciate that. For our audience visiting from outside of Mississippi, we have people here from Florida, people from Memphis, people who came in from Seminole, Texas, who came in also from Atlanta, Georgia, North Carolina. What is one thing in Mississippi you think they should experience?
The people in Mississippi are the most interesting people. And as I said earlier, their stories. They all have so many different stories. And you would be educated to learn about the people. And then as a bonus, you'll get to try the Mississippi farm-raised catfish, the Mississippi cheese straws that's sold all over the world by the company from a school cafeteria worker started the Mississippi Cheese Straw Factory. See, I'm in here promoting Yazoo County right now, and you'll learn about Jerry Clower, the country comedian who used no profanity, and you will learn about all of the famous athletes that we have from Yazoo County. But just come to Mississippi, and then you'll get more surprises that I can't tell you about yet. You'll even get to learn the story of the witch of Yazoo, and that'll give you a reason to want to eat moon pies more. When we think of witches, we think of something ugly, but the witch of Yazoo is interesting. She's buried in the Glenwood Cemetery, and that cemetery has been featured in several movies, but you have not heard the true story of the witch until you come to Yazoo. So everybody here from everywhere else, come on up to Yazoo. It's just a little short drive, and you can get a little more of the history and catfish and moon pies and cheese straws and some mighty good people to talk to.
Now I think she talked more about that than anything else in this house. But that just shows your love of the city. So much. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Had a great conversation with Miss Gloria Elaine-Owens. I really enjoyed that, and as you can tell, she loves her history and she loves her moon pies. And her books too. But one of the big points from that conversation that I want you guys to take away is everyone has a story. And that's why we're so glad what Daily Dose of Good News to share these amazing stories with all of you, with people hopefully that you'll be able to learn from, but also be able to appreciate something for. Thank you all so much for being with us for today's episode. And remember, as always, as I try to say, make sure you guys be a source of good news for others and continue spreading that good news around. I'll see you guys next time. Take care.